following Jackass Nation production is powered by Cinelinx.com, your one stop for your news, reviews, editorials, and more. Keep it on Cinelinx. Coming to you from the K-Fave Studio. Born on the East Coast, Texas raised, and straight out of Compton. Current, reigning, and defending ETCW World Heavyweight Champion. 5-time Texas Tag Team Champion, reppin' Team Fisher. Bring you his opinions on film, television, pro wrestling, sports, and everyday life. The Jersey Jackass B.C. And you're listening to It Is What It Is with the Jackass. And now, your host, the Jackass.
Yo, it is what it is, and what it is what it is, with your host, the one, the only, the Jersey Jackass, your boy, the ETCW World Heavyweight Champion. Insert audio clip here that I'm not going to go edit and put in there. Your boy, B.C. Hit me up on all social media at Real Jackass B.C. or JCKASS B.C. Join the conversation by using the hashtag IiWiIJA. Don't forget to check out the Offshoots Radio Network, as well as Cinelinx.com, your one-stop for your news, reviews, editorials, and more. It is episode 174, I think. I'm about 90% sure that's what this is. Either way. And we have a really long episode for you guys. So this intro is going to be incredibly short. As a matter of fact, we're going to jump right into a commercial break right after I tell you about how awesome this past weekend was. It was so much fun. Thank you to everyone that came out to WrestleStock, and everyone that came out to Wobble as one, and everyone that came out to MPX Clash of the Titans. I had so much fun wrestling as Batman. Had to take on the Green Ranger in the main event Friday night, and it was an epic showdown, and it was... oh, man, did I love that more than anything. And then also, I had a blast at WrestleStock being able to work with Dave Dunning, who I haven't seen in forever, man. Me and Dave worked actually a lot when I was first coming up in the business, so it was really good to get in the ring with him and be one of the guys that he gets to get back in the ring with. So that was a blast. And, of course, Wobble as one, the Jay Strong benefit show, was... so much fun, man. Angel Camacho, it's a big dude, big angry dude, and we had a killer match, and I really did enjoy it, and I would like to work with him again sometime soon, because that was killer, man. It was a lot of freaking fun. Definitely want to work with SOAR, and I think it's APW, if I can again. I want to thank all the fans out there and everyone I met and got to work with. Thank you guys so much for your support. I had a blast, and hopefully I get to return someday soon. So, all right, guys, this episode is our top 10 films of 2018. Matt Quad C is in the house joining me, and I got something special for you. He'll be back next week as well. It was supposed to be Frankie on next week. Unfortunately, my schedule did not work out as planned. I do apologize for that, guys. This is all my fault. And because of that, Frankie will not be able to make the show next week because I just don't have time to record with him before I head out to London. So that's my bad, guys. But he will be on in February. Hopefully we can make something work. And I also have Michael Schaefer coming up in February. But this week, me and Matt are going to talk about our top 10 films, and we go on for a really long time. So this is a really long episode. And then next week, Matt's going to tell us all about his trip to Singapore. So y'all get prepared for that. Get hyped. Get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy these episodes. I know you are. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the main bit of this episode. And we're going to get into our top 10. So let's take a quick commercial break, hear from the sponsors before we get into it. And then we will start rocking and rolling.
I'm ready. Come on.
Feel it coming in the air, and the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem, tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who gonna run this town tonight.
MPX runs the DFW. If you have not been out to Metroplex Wrestling, you are missing out. But don't worry, because now you can see MPX at your own house. That's right, the MPX Network. You can get it now, and you can see all our old shows, all the new shows. Get everything. Buy now. MPX Network, only $9.99 a month. But if you use the code Jackass, Jacka, money symbol, that's right, you can get a discount on your monthly subscription fee for the MPX Network. So, go now to network.mpxwrestling.com. Use the promo code Jackass, Jacka, money symbol, and you can start watching MPX today.
That was Bulls.
Whatever, you run with the Wolves.
Running
It's not a
with
good
the
idea.
Bulls.
It's never a good idea to run with Wolves.
I'm not Kevin Costner. I'm not dancing with wolves. I'm running with the Bulls.
I'm not saying you're dancing with wolves. I said you were running with them.
I'm running with Bulls.
Yeah, but you said wolves.
No, I'm not Mowgli. All right, I'm running with the Bulls.
He does run with the wolves.
He does.
I watched Mowgli.
Did you like it?
Not good.
No, it's really not.
Guess what was on my top? Or no, it was not on my bottom 10 because I watched it after me and Jay had already recorded.
But it would have been on.
It would have been.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was a rough one, man. That was a really rough.
It was.
Especially like, isn't that like Andy Serkis's like
Yes.
debut too?
And it's definitely like okay, when you watch the Jungle, the Jon Favreau Jungle Book,
Yeah.
I firmly believe they taught that panther how to talk.
Right, it was incredible.
Watching this one, I'm like, oh well, that's animated.
Yeah,
I can fully, I cannot not see that it's animated.
Although I did think Christian Bale did a good job.
Yeah,
voicing.
everyone did good in it.
Yeah.
It was just, except for the kid. The kid was terrible.
The animation was just not
And,
there.
yeah,
I mean, it's not Disney
animated.
money though. You know?
Yeah, it was animated.
Because wasn't it Warner Brothers that did that one?
Oof, you know what? Not 100%.
I'm not either. I just know that every time that anybody tries to like pull off something that Disney already did, it's usually Warner Brothers, and it's just not that good.
Everyone said the de-aging in Aquaman was bad. I thought it was great.
I thought it was fine.
And then they were like, yeah, they
Like Willem Dafoe? Like that
not
de-aging?
William Dafoe. Jango Fett.
Oh no, it was perfect. I didn't
Totally.
notice that at all.
You know what's really funny is totally didn't even realize that was the same person. I thought there were two different actors.
Yeah, I did too.
And then all of a sudden it clicked in my head. I'm like, wait a minute, that's Jango Fett.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that dude has not aged well.
And then I was watching it, and everyone was like, yeah, but what's her name? Nicole Kidman didn't look good. I'm like, I don't think they de-aged Nicole Kidman.
That's not like possible.
She looked exactly the same the entire. Like there was
Yeah.
no.
Like Nicole Kidman looks amazing all the time.
Yeah.
So whoever said that Nicole Kidman doesn't look good just needs to.
I was seeing it online a couple times. They're like, yeah, the aging on Nicole Kidman was terrible.
Deactivate your account.
I was like, I don't think they de-aged her. I
No.
think they just left her as is.
she's like an immortal goddess. Like why? No. Like the only aging she had was the gray hair later on when she's looking like all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe Aquaman makes one of our lists. Maybe it doesn't. And it's time that we get into our top 10 list of 2018.
This is fun, man.
It-
I was really getting excited for this.
Yeah.
Because it really forced me to watch a lot of movies I hadn't watched yet and really think about a lot of these movies.
I've been spending so much time trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot to go, but I'm pretty sure none of the ones that I have to go are going to make my best.
Same here.
So I think the rest of them are all just Jeebus nominated. Or Jeebus possibilities.
Bro, I can't wait for the Jeebus Awards.
Neither can
This
I.
is gonna be fun.
And
That's coming up soon.
and speaking of the Jeebus Awards, you want to hear a spoiler?
Sure.
Ocean to Ocean is going to be nominated for Best Song. I don't don't care what y'all say. That is a fun song.
That is a terrible song.
It is a fun song.
No one needs to remake Toto's Africa.
He did not remake it.
It's essentially a remake.
No, he sampled it. That's what rappers do. They sample songs. Weezer remade it.
Yeah, Weezer did not do a good job with that.
No.
Yeah.
Weird Al's in that, too.
Is he in that?
Yeah. Or he's at least in the video.
Yeah.
And he's the main one singing.
I like Weird Al. I don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, I love it. But then again, I'm also a Pitbull, Mark. I just
You are
am.
a Pitbull, Mark.
I love Pitbull.
I'm just Pitbull's like, when Pitbull first came out, I was like, all right, Pitbull's kind of cool. And then like he kept doing the same damn shtick over and over again, where it's like, ha ha, Mr. 305, ha. Like every goddamn song is ha ha.
So you don't like Diddy either?
I haven't heard Diddy in a while, actually.
Every one of Diddy's songs had the same damn thing. Bad Boy for Life! This is the remix! Matter of fact, all the remixes were just the original song with him going, this is the remix! This is the remix!
Yeah, I probably would have been annoyed by him too. Not gonna lie.
So,
Like, just get some creativity. That's my thing. Like, it's just annoying to me.
alright, so you guys know how this works. We're going to do our top 10. Matt's going to do his number 10, then I'm going to do my number 10, then we'll do
Punts
Matt's
and
number
stuff.
9, and then I'll do my number 9. If we happen to have the same thing, we're going to do what we call a punt, which I stole from John Roca and Matt Nost in the top 10 show, and we will talk about it, whoever has it lower on the list.
And whoever is the last man standing moves on to go face the WWE champion at WrestleMania.
Speaking of facing champions,
Yes. Oh, yeah!
guess who got 100 subscribers?
I know! Like, the last minute, too.
Literally the last day
That
of
was hilarious.
2018.
That was hilarious.
Bold prediction. Not prediction, but bold resolution.
What?
I want to double it in 202019.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I want 200
What
by
are
the
the
end of the year.
stakes, though?
I don't want. I'm worried about getting 200.
We need some stakes, though.
I feel like, failure is enough stake. I already failed enough of my ones last year.
We need to do something.
I don't think so.
Like,
but
you go through a table.
I've still never gone through a table.
See, there you go.
Oh, no, that's not true. Jay had to put me through a table. We were in LA, so we could pre-break the table for Johnny. All right, Matt, honorable mention. What do you got?
All right, so I have 4 honorable mentions, and I'm actually really disappointed I couldn't put these in my top 10. It's just everything else just played out to where I couldn't.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions are Blockers.
Ooh, good pick.
Loved Blockers.
It was
man.
good.
That was so good. Game Night.
Oh, okay. Doubling up on the comedy.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I feel like those were 2 of the best comedies this year.
Yeah, there weren't that many.
There
comedies.
really weren't that many comedies. I thought Tag was okay. It's just like the ending was really weird to me. But Blockers and Game Night, I think they were like the top 2 comedies. But there were just so many damn good movies that I couldn't really put a comedy in my top 10. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Okay, so far no punts at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And other one's First Man.
Really?
Yeah.
My sister hated that. I still haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was good. I thought that Claire Foy was probably the best part of that movie.
That's what I've heard.
I thought that gosh, I can't even think of it. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
He was okay. It's just there was really no personality there.
Yeah.
It was just more of like his facial expressions told the story, which is really good.
Yeah.
And there was just some trippy CGI scenes that they had on there that I was like, oh, this is kind of odd. And it was very slow at times, but I think the emotion that you had in that movie was enough to carry it.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really good movie, just not one that I made in my top 10 list.
All right. Okay. All right. Those are some good honorable mentions. Mine are, I guarantee we're going to have to punt on at least one of these, maybe 2.
Bird Box.
No. Had I watched that before my worst of the year, would have been on there. Who puts Machine Gun Kelly in a movie with Sandra Bullock and then doesn't even let us see him die?
I know. I think we all just have to assume that he's dead.
I don't care. I want to see him have a gruesome death.
Do you understand, though? Like,
He gets to bang Alita Battle Angel and be a douchebag, and we don't get to see him die?
I still think it's amazing that, like, as much criticism as that movie's got, I think it's gotten more, like, acclaim than anything else. And honestly, I thought the movie was fine, but I thought A Quiet Place was better.
Well, yeah, it didn't have Machine Gun Kelly in it.
You need to get off this Machine Gun.
No,
thing,
I
bro.
just want to know what idiot was sitting in a casting room. They go, okay, guys, we got Sandra Bullock. Who do we need next? Well, we got Alita, Battle Angel, Rosie something. I don't know her name. Okay, you know who round this cast out right? Machine Gun Kelly. What's he been in? Nothing. Let's put him in the movie.
The dude has 2 lines. He doesn't do anything.
Cool. Get Joe Schmo Nobody then.
He has 2 lines and he has a sex scene. That's it.
You don't need Machine Gun. You don't need to piss people off by putting Machine Gun Kelly.
I think he only pissed you off.
It made me so damn mad. Look, everyone agreed with me on Facebook.
By the way, I love the Bird Box memes. Have you seen them?
Oh, they're great.
They're incredible.
The best one was when whoever it was put John Cena in the credits.
Yes.
That was great.
That was really good. I like the one of the Bears kicker when he missed the field goal.
Yeah.
With Sandra Bullock's head.
Yeah.
The cover.
Yeah. Oh, poor Bears.
That was really bad.
Poor Bears.
I feel bad for Jay. Jay's a big Bears fan.
Yeah. I feel bad for Schaefer. Me and Schaefer were already...
that's
See,
right.
we were already planning Cowboys Bears going to Chicago to see the game, watch the game.
Really?
Yes.
That was... Yeah.
We're like, yo, if we
That
get
would have
there...
been the championship game.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Like, yo, if we get there and it's Cowboys and Bears, we are going to the game. I called my buddy Dice. I'm like, yo, we come crash with you.
Yeah.
Everything was set. We're like, we just got to get both teams there.
And you're the only one still alive.
Yeah.
And definitely not going to Chicago.
No. So, I do like our chances against the Rams, though.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Much better. I was not wanting to play the Saints yet. So.
Yeah.
All right. My honorable mentions. And we're going to save that one because we definitely won't put on this one because this was definitely not on your list. Robin Hood.
Definitely not on my list. You're right.
I enjoyed it, man. I had a lot of fun with it. It was just, I really expected him to say, "You have failed, Sherwood Forest," but I don't care. My only real negative was they combined Little John and Morgan Freeman's character from the Prince of Thieves into one character.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
I know. Like, because Jamie Foxx is Little John, but he's also the character that Morgan Freeman played.
Yeah.
You know,
Guy Ritchie's done some weird stuff lately with
but
some of these
it
adaptations.
honestly it made me want a Robin Hood shared universe.
Yeah.
Like with Robin Hood and Three Musketeers, which are about roughly the same time period. King Arthur, which is nowhere near the same time period,
not
but
at
you
all.
can make it work. I don't care.
You know, King Arthur got a lot of hate.
I liked it.
I actually liked it. I
Loved
liked it. It
was fun.
It was fun, except for the point where you realize that they ran out of money for the CGI, and it was just like, oh, that's bad.
And the point that you're like, why are you putting these giant monster elephants in there? You don't
Yeah,
need these.
it was unnecessary.
But other than that, I had fun watching that
Yeah, it was
movie.
fun.
My next one, and this one's going to shock you. Creed 2.
Really? It's not a punt.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
did not make the top 10.
It didn't make my top 10 either.
It just barely got cut out.
Yeah. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a solid sequel.
It was.
But
It just too much. The middle was just too boring for me.
Yeah.
They doubled down on the hearing drama, and I just
Yeah.
didn't care.
And a lot of the just random, like, we're just going to go to a desert now. It's just...
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really weird.
I didn't mind that. It was like well, we have to do something different. He fought Drago in the snow, so now it sent him to the desert.
It's weird.
All right, now this is the one I guarantee we'll probably have the pun on. Black Klansman.
Yeah, we will have to punt on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. We'll hold off on it.
That's
We'll hold off on it.
interesting.
All right, number 10. What do you got?
So number 10 is a movie that I actually watched on the flight over to Beijing, and it was a Christmas present from the one and only Rob Entropy. He was wonderful and kind enough to buy me A Quiet Place.
Really?
Yes. I hadn't seen it yet. I watched Bird Box, and then I watched A Quiet Place.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's an interesting set. To see Bird Box first.
Yeah. Because wasn't sure how I'd feel about
Yeah.
it. I really liked A Quiet. Was this a punt? Or are we good?
Nope.
Okay.
Not on the list.
I loved A Quiet Place because less was more.
Yeah.
In that movie, and a lot of the technicals with the audio that they did, and the lack of audio was just sensational. Like, I was so engrossed in that movie. My wife like tapped me on the shoulder to tell me something, and I thought I could not speak. Like, in my mind, I was so invested in this story of, you know, like, oh, if they hear you, you die, that I'm just like, my wife's like, hey, where's the bag? And I was like, like, I'm pointing like up, and she's just like, why can't you talk? And I'm like, I shouldn't talk. I can't talk right now.
Did you have noise canceling headphones?
No, I just had like earbuds.
Oh
Yeah.
man, because I tell you, dude, that was an experience in the theater.
Yeah.
I had never, like, nobody said a word. Like, it was dead silent.
That's really
throughout
cool.
the theater.
And what I also loved about it too is that as opposed to the Bird Box, where, you know, it's just a lot going on, different like arcs and stories and stuff like that. This is one singular moment.
Yeah.
And it is a very extremely tense singular moment. And I did not expect that ending with Krasinski.
Yeah.
Like, that was, honestly, because I knew A Quiet Place 2 was happening. Going into it, I knew that was happening. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, you know, Krasinski's going to survive. You know, we're just going to see the next stage of this. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, crap. What's happening?
Right?
And
like,
then,
yeah, it's...
And the monster, too. Like, the most tense moment was when that monster was... When they were in that cellar, and the water's all around, and the monster just slowly goes into the water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, where's that? Where is it? Oh.
And that's something that I think they did much better than Bird Box, is they showed us what it was.
Right.
Bird Box never showed you what it was that we should have got to see killed Machine Gun Kelly. And I wish I would have been able to see what happened, like why. You know, and it's just the happening. So that's what I liked at The Quiet Place.
Interesting thing that you said, the happening. So Bird Box was written before the happening. It was written before, you know, The Quiet Place.
Yeah,
all that stuff. But it wasn't released until after the happening. Because right whenever it was written and it was published and we were all good to go, the happening came out. And so they were like, oh, we can't do this right now. Like, we can't release this right now because this whole M. Night Shyamalan thing is out, and people might think it's a ripoff. Also, you know, it might be, you know, it could, like, eclipse our book. So they released it after the happening was all said and done.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew it was written before. I didn't know it was held off the release.
Yeah.
Though. That's crazy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Millicent Simmons, girl that plays the little girl.
Oh, she was great.
She was incredible.
And that was another thing, too, is that, like, and it's unfortunate to say, but most children in movies are annoying to a certain extent. I didn't think she was annoying.
No.
Like, and I thought, like, I didn't expect the little brother to die at the beginning. Like, that was nuts.
Yeah.
So, you know, seeing that, and then what all they were going through and their attitudes around different things was like, makes sense. It was only a year ago.
Yeah. And
I'm sure it's all in the back of their minds about what all happened, you know?
I was sitting there watching, though. I'm like, you guys are just so irresponsible. Who
They really are.
Has children in a world like this?
Who's a baby?
Yes.
Like, seriously, if you already had the kids, all right, whatever, we're here. This is what it is. But who has a baby at that point?
You can't keep a baby quiet.
No, like, that's a huge mistake. Like, children, toddlers, I mean, it is what it is. Baby? No, you can't control a baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So irresponsible.
So that was my 10. What's yours?
Where's my phone? I got enthralled in that conversation. Made me almost say, man, maybe I should have put it on my list. Or at least in my honorable mentions. My number 10 is the most heartwarming and emotional film I have ever seen in my entire life. Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Oh, wow. Okay.
This thing gave us the most in-depth look into Mr. Rogers that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And it was just like it. I saw it at 10 a.m. in the morning at the Angelica. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to stay awake through this. I'm going to pass the F out. I brought in a Bang with me. But I was
Which is an energy drink, if you don't know. It's a really weird thing to say. I brought a bang with me.
Everyone knows what bang is.
I mean, like, yeah, I get it. But, like, if you said I brought a Monster with me, I feel like most people would understand that's an energy drink.
Well,
But, like,
most people have come forward in the future, and they understand that Monster is obsolete.
Look, I get it, yeah.
All right? Bang is life.
Speaking of that, like, nobody drinks Rockstar anymore, you know?
Did anyone ever drink Rockstar?
I feel like I noticed, like, 2 people drink Rockstar.
Rockstar was trash. It was like Red Bull. Venom had its day in Dallas because
Yeah.
T.O. was the spokesman.
Sure. Yeah, Venom's gone now.
And then it was just Monster.
Yeah.
And now Monster's gone, and the world understands Bang because it's.
I think people still drink Monster.
Yeah,
But I
fat
think it's
people
starting
drink
to get
Monster.
obsolete.
People who are not healthy drink Monster.
Sure.
Bang is much better for you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I was like, okay, well, I have Bang just in case I need to stay awake. Didn't even open the damn thing. I was so enthralled in this movie.
Wow.
Every minute of it, every second, I was in tears from damn near start to finish. It is just such an incredible look at one of the greatest human beings that this world has ever seen. And to see how much he cared about people and how much he cared about his vision was just so... It hit you in every way perfectly. And made me so much more excited for the Tom Hanks version of the movie as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. If you think that Tom Hanks and that adaptation is going to be able to do justice.
I think so. Because it's Tom Hanks. If it was anyone else, I'd be like, I don't know.
Tom Hanks is incredible.
But Tom Hanks can do just about it.
I feel like Tom Hanks is probably the greatest actor of our generation, really.
He is definitely up there right behind The Rock.
Oh my god. So you're saying if The Rock played Mr. Rogers, that it would totally, like...
I would buy The Rock as a 13-year-old girl if that's what the role he was playing is. I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool, he's a girl, that's awesome, he's 13, I believe it.
Now I just want to see The Rock as Mr. Rogers now. Won't you be my neighbor? What?
So yeah, dude, it was just so good. I loved everything about it.
He is a fascinating man. He really is, because he was a Marine, right? If I'm
No.
not mistaken.
No, that
He
is
was in the military.
that is completely false.
Is it?
And I found that out through this movie.
Really?
One of his best friends makes a joke about how there's all these rumors about how he was in the military and stuff. He was not in the military.
He was not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, what did he do before he was Mr. Rogers?
He had other TV shows, like science shows, and he taught kids and did stuff like that. And
So this was just everything he ever wanted
yeah,
to do.
he just always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
So
That's
and
too cool.
it's incredible, and it's definitely going to be up for a Jeebus Award or two.
Right. For Best Documentary and something else?
Hey, let me ask you something. I'm thinking about doing, because documentary is new this year.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing documentary / comedy special.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think those would go good together?
It's real.
Yeah.
So, sure, yeah. I think it's similar. I mean, documentaries are more emotional and informative.
Yeah.
Comedy specials are a little bit more gimmicky, but...
It's just, I look at I have a certain number of, and it's a certain number of documentaries, like, that's not a lot. And then I
it's
just
like,
look
what,
at
3?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the stand-ups that came out, I was like, man, I should do one for those.
Yeah.
Well, these kind of could go together.
I think that's fine, yeah.
Kind of like the Golden Globes does musical or comedy, which is
just
complete
I
bullshit.
don't
Green
understand
Book.
why they do that. The
Yeah,
dumbest.
what's even funnier is that's where Bohemian Rhapsody should have been. It's closer to a musical.
You would think. Throw in AIDS and it suddenly becomes a drama.
Yeah. All right, number 9. What do you got?
So, number 9, just won a Golden Globe for Best Picture. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and punt.
Okay.
Because that's gonna be a little lower on the list.
Sure.
My number 9, Crazy Rich Asians.
We're at the punt.
We're gonna have to punt. All right, number 8. Damn. Okay.
All right, so number 8. We don't have to punt. It's Black Klansman.
All right.
Yeah!
Yes. Look, I wanted this on my list so much, but as I was going through it, I was like, okay, what would I watch again first? I'm like, I'd watch this more. I'd rewatch this. I'd rewatch it. And so it kind of kept pushing it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was such a damn good movie.
It was incredible. Like, I thought it was fantastic. And Spike Lee, I haven't watched a lot of Spike Lee movies. But seeing this and his style, like, he would say, like, like when they reference something, he would show a picture.
Yeah.
And, reference something else, and something else is going on. And I thought that this was such a great story and a great adaptation, and it was perfect for the time.
Yeah.
Like, right now, like, I feel like we needed that
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
And it's so interesting because, like, you film it like a year before the movie ever comes out. So, like, how do you have that presence of mind to know that this is the perfect movie for this time?
Yeah.
And this is the perfect story, the perfect movie. And I thought that John David Washington...
Yo, JD he's
incredible.
So legit.
He's so good. And I had only ever seen him previously in Ballers.
I don't know if he's really been in anything else yet, really.
Yeah, but he's doing his daddy proud.
Oh, yeah.
Because if y'all don't know, Denzel Washington's his dad.
Yes.
Which, okay. When I found that out, which was at the Golden Globes, I think, because he was...
Really?
Because Denzel was being honored for something, and he had his whole family up there, and John David Washington was up there, too. I was like, wait a second. Huh?
I knew about that season 1 of Ballers.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. But he's so good in that. Adam Driver is fantastic as well. Even Topher Grace is really good in that movie too. It made me feel uncomfortable in a lot of moments, and I think that it was supposed to.
Yeah. If you do not feel uncomfortable watching that, then yeah.
Yeah.
But in a way that you're like that stuff that's going on is wrong, and you're just like, man, it just
Yeah. It is an inspiring story too. I just think overall it was just a fantastic film.
It was, and dude, JD was so good. He's
so great.
He'll be in the cheapest awards.
And I like that whenever they talked about I could speak the King's English or I could speak street or whatever he said. I can't remember anymore. He's like, but I'm fluent in both. and he goes, well, what's the difference? And like I just like how was it? Topher Grace was like, oh, the aura. Like, are you gonna make me some lemonade? Aura? And then at the end, whenever he's like, hey, did you ever figure out who that this white fella is or something like that? And he's just like, Aura, you gonna figure it out? Like, I just love the whole thing. The whole exchange, everything about that movie is just so good.
Absolutely, dude. He's incredible, and I loved it, man. Such a great film. All right, that was your number
8.
8. So my number 8 is not on your list. Tag.
Really?
I loved Tag. I thought this was hilarious. I cracked up from start to finish. No, I had to pause it and rewind so I could catch jokes. So I was still laughing at jokes from the beginning. And part of it has to do with I am a Hannibal Buress mark.
Oh yeah,
that guy is hilarious.
Yeah, anything Hannibal Buress is in, it's like, oh, it's on my top 10 list.
I want Hannibal Buress to be in every single movie ever made. Like not a character. He doesn't have to be a main character or anything. Just in one scene, just in the background. He's just sitting in the background. He just looks at the camera. Nods his head.
The greatest thing about him in Tag, though, is that this wasn't like your prototypical Hannibal Buress. This is like a really chill, down to earth Hannibal Buress.
That's what Hannibal Buress is. He's chilled down to earth with that really dry delivery.
Now, Hannibal Buress sounds high most of the time. In this movie, he didn't sound that high.
I thought he sounded pretty high.
Not as high. Like, it didn't seem baked.
And then there's Isla Fisher. Isla Fisher.
Yeah.
That's my friend Kristen. Like, to a T. That's her. Like, as soon as I started watching this, I was like, hey, have you seen Tag? And her response is like, I am not Isla Fisher.
Look, I liked the movie.
Yeah.
It made me want to start a game of Tag with my friends. Like, we should start a game of Tag, like in the month of May or whatever.
I'm totally not that athletic enough for that.
That's fine.
Says the professional wrestler.
Yeah. But it would be one of those things too, where we would do it to where you would be in the middle of a match. One of us would run up while you're doing a suplex, run in, tag you real quick, be like, hey buddy, you're it, keep going up, you're doing great, and then run out of the ring. You'd be like, God.
Just drop it. Son of a God.
But
I'm it.
The thing that killed me about this movie, though, killed it for me, was the ending. it's so out of left field, and it just leaves you hanging. And so there is no real resolution. And that's what really bothered me. Like, you either are going to kill Ed Holmes, or you're not going to kill Ed Holmes. You gotta choose one. You can't just leave us hanging to where it's just like, well, we're going to change the bylaws, and now girls can play. What about Ed Holmes? Is he dying, or what's happening?
Well, I think that's why they changed the laws, is so, you know, his wife can now be living. They can go on through him, and the game can continue.
I just wanted some sort of resolution. It just didn't seem like there really was.
I don't know.
It was just a really weird ending for me.
I loved it. I loved every minute of this, and it's so good.
I thought Jack Johnson and John Hamm were really good in it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 7.
Oh, sorry. Number 7.
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
Really?
Yes.
That barely missed out on my
Honorable mention?
no, worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was. I just have stupid. I liked it enough. It was just there was so much stupid stuff to it. It's cliched, stupid crap.
Okay.
Like, oh, if you met me in the real world, you wouldn't find me attractive. In no way, shape, or form is anyone ever not finding Olivia Cook attractive because she has a birthmark on her face.
So, like, okay.
That is the most cliched,
yes.
over-the-top, stupid crap.
So, they changed that from the book, which I thought was, it should not have changed.
Yeah.
Because in the book, the girl was actually, like, overweight. And like,
see, now I had mentioned that to somebody, and they're like, "No, she's not." They never tell you who she is in the book.
I have a buddy of mine who actually read it and told me like
everyone I talked to who read it was like yeah, they never actually tell you what she looks like.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still,
because he doesn't actually meet her till the end.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, whatever, you're beautiful to me, and that's all he said. That's all it said.
Yeah. Well,
so that's why I hear conflicting reports of that.
Yeah. So, that part, that's bothersome. But it's just a fun film.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the throwbacks to the 80s and everything else that happens. And I'm a big sucker for MacGuffin movies.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, you had 3 different MacGuffins that you're trying to find throughout this film, and the different, stages you have to go through to get there. That's why I love Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
Because those are all MacGuffin movies.
Until you find out that no matter what, Indiana Jones would have happened just the same way, even if he hadn't have been there.
Yeah.
And makes the whole movie completely pointless. Thanks a lot, Big Bang Theory.
Well...
No, literally, because the Germans would have got there, opened up the wrong thing, and ended up dying anyway.
Yeah. What about Temple of Doom?
Well, I mean, I'm just the Last Crusade.
First and third. Because the first one, the Germans would have got the cradle, and then, they would have all just been evaporated.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Big Bang Theory.
Thanks, Big Bang Theory.
Anyway, go on.
But anyway, so I love the world that they built, though. Virtually and everything else that they had. And I thought some of the characters were a bit frivolous and, missed the mark a little bit. But overall, I just love, like, the story that they told.
Yeah.
And, again, I'm a big gamer.
Yeah.
This is a world I want to live in. Not that Columbus, Ohio, that's horrible and terrible. I don't want to live there. But I'm talking about, like, the Oasis world. Like, that was so cool to me.
And then, this is very trivial and petty.
Yeah.
But continuity bothers me. When you screw up continuity, unless you're an X-Men movie and you screw up continuity, it bothers me.
Okay.
Like, everything's 80s and old school and, throwbacks.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles are the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that was bothersome, but I will still maintain that they had something. Somebody, some studio or something had some sort of say in it.
I would say, yeah, that's true, but the franchise died. They canceled. They're not doing it anymore. So that makes no sense to push that.
When was this made? Like, when was...
Well after Out of the Shadows.
But... Was Paramount at that point saying we're not going to do anymore?
Yeah, like as soon as it came out and bombed, they're like, well, that's it for Ninja Turtles.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And Kong was the Peter Jackson's Kong.
I don't know.
Which made no sense to me either.
Honestly, they're all Kong to me. I don't really know.
Let's see.
I mean, like Kong Skull Island and Peter Jackson's Kong. Those are two different ones, but the rest.
See,
of them
Kong Skull Island was old school Kong.
Yeah.
He walked erect. He was like a human gorilla.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson's Kong was just really big gorilla.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, those don't seem to fit.
Those things didn't actually, like, I just didn't notice it. I was like, because whenever they appeared, it was all in this massive, like, war.
See, but that's the stuff I pick
Yeah,
out.
that's
I'm like, wait, why would you do that?
Yeah. That's true. I loved it. I thought it was great.
So, either way. All right, what number was that? That was your 7?
Yeah.
My number 7, I'm going to assume it's not on your list. Venom.
What is wrong with you? Like, your entire list is literally, like lost all credibility at this point. What are you talking about?
I loved Venom so much.
So let me get this straight. We're just gonna say that number 7 for both of us is just like a fucking pick. Like, Ready Player One, you're not a big fan. Venom, I'm like, what? It's like, okay, all right,
dude. Okay, you know, I was going into this going, you can't do Venom without Spider-Man.
yes,
And then they announced Tom Hardy, and
Yes.
I'm like, oh, that's great.
Right, sure.
But you can't do Venom without Spider-Man. And then they announced Michelle Williams, and I'm like, oh, Oscar, Academy Award nominated actress Michelle Williams, but you can't do Venom without Spider-Man. And then they announced Riz Ahmed, and I'm like, oh, he's so good too, but you can't do it. And then Ruben Fleischer as the director, I'm like, but you can't do it. And then the trailer came out, and he looked so good. And all the rumors.
Which trailer though? Not the first one. That first
Yeah,
one.
that first one where it showed Venom.
The first one showed Venom. The other one though, that first one where it didn't show Venom, and you were just like, what is happening?
Oh yeah, the one that never
was
showed
bad.
Venom. Yeah,
that was
no,
really
yeah.
bad.
I'm talking about the one where it finally showed Venom.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, this feels like Venom. Like, this is, you got the character right. He doesn't have Spider-Man, so it's wrong, but you got it right. He feels like Venom. And I loved that so much. And yes, and most people are going to, I'm going to say this, and most people are going to say this sounds like a bad thing. But it felt like the Fantastic Four movies. Not Fan Four Stick. The Jessica Alba ones, which I enjoyed, and I had a lot of fun with.
I thought the first one was good. Didn't like the second one.
And it's just a very just fun, old school throwback superhero movie.
Sure.
And I just had the dynamic between Hardy and the symbiote were incredible. And then you find out that I didn't realize that Hardy voiced the symbiote too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he recorded his symbiote lines and had an earpiece in. So he was literally talking to himself.
That's cool.
Yeah.
See, I like that. And I thought that was the best part of the movie, was their interactions and the exchanges. And, like, whenever he was talking to someone and he would answer, if Venom would answer, and he's just like, stop talking, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I hated Tom Hardy's character in that film.
Really?
He was the Shia LaBeouf of Marvel films. He's just reacting.
What's wrong with Shia LaBeouf?
In Transformers,
He's
where
great.
where he's running around, he's like, no.
All the other Transformers have been terrible without him until Bumblebee.
I mean, I think all of them have really just been terrible.
I like the first one.
I like the first.
I love the third one.
I like the first and the third one. The second one was bad.
I thought the second one was bad until I saw the fourth one. Then I was like, well, the second one's a freaking masterpiece.
The fourth one's bad. The fifth one's bad. Yeah, and then Bumblebee.
Yeah.
But no, like the reason I say that is because, like, there's really, like, he starts off having this, like, no nonsense approach about, like, his news and everything like that. But it just, the whole thing feels like Tom Hardy's just kind of going through the motions. Because we've seen Tom Hardy act. We know how much of a stellar actor he is.
Like, it felt like he was just being Tom Hardy.
Like, he's running
Which
around,
is what he
just
is in every movie.
He's like, yeah, so, like, you know, so you got, like, this pharmaceutical lawsuit, right? Like, yeah, so, okay, yeah.
He had that same little nervous tick that he kind of did when he was in Warrior. He'd have that little tick with him, and he had it in this one as well as Mad Max, and it's a thing that he does.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I love Tom Hardy and everything, and I'm so glad that he's on board for the sequel that they're about to start.
Look, I'm fine with that too. It's just he never felt like I don't know. Like, even whenever he was with Venom, like, and his interactions and stuff like that, like, that tick was just magnified to me.
I feel the complete opposite.
Like, the whole movie just felt like that tick was just, like, I don't know, it just bothered me because it was, like, constant.
To me, that's what made it work so much. Mm-hmm. And that's what just was so fun to watch about it. Since I've got it on digital, I've been watching it, like, once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Love that.
It's a lot to watch that movie.
I love it. Everything about it.
I do like that they did reshoots, though, just so that way they could correct saying symbiote. Because you remember in the trailers they said symbiote.
They still say symbiote a lot.
I hear symbiote.
If you listen to a couple times, there's still a lot of them saying, yeah, and it was really...
They're like, we can't do all the reshoots. But they do a lot of reshoots where they're saying symbiote. Yeah.
But my only negatives about the movie were you could tell it was filmed for R. Yes. And then cut to PG-13.
Yes, 100%. Like, whenever he bites off the guy's head on the beginning, whenever you first see Venom, and he bites that dude's heads off, like, well, there's no blood, you don't even see the head, you don't even see the body. It's just like, this is gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my only other negative was Woody Harrelson's wig.
Yeah.
That was not a good look, Woody.
Unnecessary. Yeah.
We're having one hell of a show here on It Is What It Is with the Jackass, but we got to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hey everybody, this is Trey Mack from the Offshoots Radio Network, and I want to thank everyone for downloading this episode. Check out our list of shows that are also on the network. We have the Offshoots, of course, which is hosted by me, and we help promote the wrestling shows in the DFW area. And every once in a while, we journey outside of our own little market and promote wrestling from other ports of call. The bottom line is, we promote wrestling. Other shows on the network include the Lucha Lounge with Steve DeMarco, the former PCW heavyweight champion, now a part of Reality Wrestling's creative, brings his own perspective on wrestling and life. BC brings his own show called It Is What It Is with the Jackass, our entertainment show where the former 4-time MPX Tag Team Champion talks TV, movies, sports, and everyday life. Cheap Pops just debuted on the Offshoots Radio Network, and like this show, it's taking on a following of its own. Join Thomas Barnes and his crew as they talk wrestling, music, and hijinks. Split Decision is our UFC/WWE show where Tommy and Big Kev drag me into their web of nonsense as they attempt to cover the goings-on in the UFC and help keep me updated on what's going on in the WWE. If you head over to theoffshoots.podbean.com, you can check out every single episode that has aired on the Offshoots Radio Network, including shows like The Nigel Rabbit Show, Talking Smack with Christopher Hayden, Still Famous, God Makes Beautiful Things, show recaps, and much, much more. We can be found on iTunes and Google Play, so for those who have iPhones or Samsung, you have no excuse. Plus, we are on platforms like Podbay, Stitcher, Player FM, Podcast Addict, and every once in a while, you'll find us circling out there on iHeartRadio. Come like us at the Offshoots Radio Network on Facebook. Of course, other shows have their own page as well. Join the conversation, be a part of our small little world as it gets bigger and bigger each day.
All right, next up, what do you got?
Okay, so we're on to number 6 now.
Yes.
Crazy Rich Asians.
Hey, my punt from my number 9.
That's right. I love this movie.
It was so good.
It was really good. And this is a rom-com.
Well, I mean, you know me. I am a sucker for rom-coms.
But like, I think whenever you look at most people's top 10, you wouldn't have assumed that a rom-com would be on there.
True.
But this is an elevated rom-com. Because just the whole movie is an event. It's a celebration of Asian culture.
Yeah.
And you don't ever see that, really. Not in this day and age.
Yeah.
So I thought that everything that they did in this film and how they... and being in Singapore, I now have an appreciation for this film because I know every single place they've been to. I actually went to some of those places. So it was really cool to be able to experience that both in person and in film.
Yeah.
And even just the story that they told, everything was seamless and everything was well organized. And maybe it had to do with the fact that it was based off of a book.
Yeah.
But I think that they just did everything that they did in this movie, just did it justice.
And I loved the interaction with all the characters.
Yes.
Like they were everything felt real. It didn't feel forced. Even Awkwafina's character.
Yeah. I thought, and Awkwafina's always like, she's an actress that, like, I see her that she's going to be in a movie, and I'm like, I cringe for a second, but then I end up always loving her.
I have not, because I didn't know who she was until this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, and I watched her in Ocean's 8,
Yeah.
and she was so good in
She was
Ocean's
great.
8.
Yeah.
And now that she's going to be in Jumanji, I am super hyped for
Yeah.
it. Because I'm like, I don't understand who this is because her name is Awkwafina, and I'm like, are you the water? Like, are you the heir to the water company? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, I don't care. You're awesome.
She's great, and it's amazing to see her star has risen as high as it has.
Yeah.
I just, everyone though, like even people I had no idea who they were, like I'd never seen them before in a movie, I thought they did well. I thought they did a really good job. I'm excited for the sequel that they're going to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just thought this.
I'm worried that the sequel gets that sequelitis though.
Maybe, but there's 3 books.
Yeah, I
So-
know, but you know, sometimes when you bring out the
Yeah.
first one does so good, you bring out the sequel, you're like, all right, let's just make the sequel.
That's true, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to do it justice.
Hope so.
Yeah.
I do hope so. I did really, really enjoy that.
I loved it.
That's why I'm glad it was higher on your list. I really wanted to put it higher on my list, but I just putting it one against the other.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I will say, because Crazy Rich Asians was going to be in my top 5.
Yeah.
After I had to bump it to number 6, this top 5 is going to be nuts.
I'm excited to hear about it. My number 6, I'm wondering if you have it on there. Bumblebee.
And I don't, because
You
when
don't?
Bumblebee came out, I was leaving for Singapore.
Oh, so you haven't seen
So
it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I didn't make my list.
Okay, I really enjoyed it. I think it is the child in me that enjoyed it because it's very G1
Yeah.
Transformers and it's just fun and Haley Steinfeld's really good in it. It does have, and I mean maybe it probably shouldn't be this high on my list, but because it does have its issues.
Yeah.
It has the Transformer tropes of annoying parents and there's a random character that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, like, you really see Cybertron. Like, you get to see a good part of Cybertron. They do
That's
real
cool.
well with Cybertron.
That's cool.
And seeing Bumblebee be Bumblebee and learn this first girl and her dog story here with
Yeah.
Bumblebee and Haley Steinfeld is just incredible. She's so good. She's so much fun. And John Cena's functional.
Interesting.
He should stick to comedy.
The trailers, like the commercials for them, seem like they've started to like turn to comedy, but I guess there's not that many scenes.
No, not a lot of him doing comedy. He's kind of the straight man.
Oh, interesting.
So it doesn't work out. You know, kind of wish you hadn't seen him in there.
I don't know how you did.
But yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. And I think it is the best Transformers since the first one.
So are they going to do a second one?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
okay.
this is it.
One
And they
and done.
kind of set it up like, all right, we're good.
So you think that like...
Well, see, I was going to say this is it because they're going to reboot and do the whole Hasbro universe.
Oh, you're right.
But now the Snake Eyes movie is coming.
Yeah.
So that puts the universe on hold because this is, again, a spin-off of the Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe.
Well, I think that they're going to eventually get there to where, like, they're all, like, a united front of some sort.
Well, I think it's reboots. I think it's start back over. So now we got to have this G.I. Joe movie come out.
Yeah.
And then start again. You know, I figured, okay, let's wait a year and then we'll kick off the new universe.
Yeah.
You know, but
Could be.
it's very interesting to see now that Snake Eyes is coming.
Maybe they might be doing it better than DC did. Like, maybe they watched with this whole shared universe. They watched what was it Paramount did with the Dark Universe,
Yeah.
and they saw what what's its name DC did with their DCEU, and they're like, okay, maybe we need to take our time and really build up these characters a little bit before we do like
because that's
throw
how
together.
Hollywood thinks.
Maybe
Let's
that's what we
take our
did.
time.
I don't know this. Well, look, You have a Bumblebee movie. Now you're going to have a single Snake Eyes movie. Eventually, we're going to get to the shared Hasbro universe.
Yeah, but you'd think they would stop making the solo ones to let it die out.
Well, I mean, unless they're following the Marvel policy. Which, Marvel, they did
but
Iron Man.
But they have said, like, this Transformers, this was going to be the last Transformers. And then we're going to start the new universe.
Yeah.
But now we're doing another G.I. Joe movie in the same universe. So we're going to have to wait till that one's finished its run.
Right.
So
I just can't wait for Nick Fury to come over to Snake
Exactly.
Eyes at the end of the movie and just be like, hey, I'm forming
the Avengers.
alliance. Yeah.
All right, so I'm on number 5 now?
I guess I'm on number 5.
Oh, you're on number 5?
Yeah.
Oh, because mine, I just did Bumblebee. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, go ahead.
Number 5. The movie I saw instead of Bumblebee, Aquaman.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. It did not make the list.
I loved it, man. Like, it's not like the best superhero movie I saw all year.
I never would have thought that the first DC movie that was gonna hit $1 billion
Would be Aquaman.
would be Aquaman.
I know. I don't think
The
anybody
man
would have.
who talks to fish is about to hit $1 billion.
That's that Jason Momoa effect. Like, that dude's contagious.
Oh, is he? Because Conan did so well?
Like, we don't need to talk about Conan. Alright? That was before he became Aquaman.
I remember people telling me about Jason Momoa in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Died in season 1!
Yeah, I know. Like, I honestly don't know why everybody was, like, freaking out about Jason Momoa and then. Like, honestly, I love Jason Momoa in Stargate more than anything. I thought he was awesome in that. But, so, the reason why this movie makes my top 5 is because it just was sheer and utter fun. It follows a lot of the same generic superhero tropes. We know it. We get it. You know, like, oh, this man is an outcast. He has to go, fight, his brother, whatever, for the throne. Ends up getting kicked off, having to go do
It
this.
is literally Black Panther if Black Panther was Killmonger.
Yeah. Except... No. Well...
It is literally like
Yeah.
if Killmonger was actually the good guy of that story.
If Killmonger had to go elsewhere to get the Black Panther power, I would say yes.
Okay, go on. I'll tell you why it didn't make my list. I want you to finish why it did make
Okay.
your list first.
I just love the whole adventure of it. Like, my biggest want of this film was that I wanted the world to seem huge.
Yeah.
And they did that. They really did. And they incorporated every undersea life, like, race and creature and everything. And I thought they did it flawlessly. I like how they... the younger Aquaman wasn't great.
He was so bad.
Teenage
Aquaman was
was real bad. But Jason Momoa Aquaman was
King of Bros.
He's a bro. He's gonna be a terrible king. And Black Manta was not great. But
I thought Black Manta was the best part.
I didn't like Black Manta.
Oh, I'm so excited for more with him.
I thought
Because that whole storyline had heart to it. Like, real heart.
Sure. But
And it was essential to making Aquaman who he is.
the montage was a weird choice.
I had fun with it.
But I just love how... I really just like how the whole journey of Aquaman was to become Aquaman. And then it wasn't like one of those where it was like with Wonder Woman, where it happened before everything else.
Yeah.
This is all after Justice League.
Kind of.
So it's like, we know Aquaman exists. We know he's in this world. And
The Fish Boy?
yeah,
Fish Man.
those are,
Can we get a selfie?
Yeah.
Loved that.
It was pretty funny, right? So I just liked it. I really did.
So, here's my issues.
Yeah.
Number 1, made a big deal about his mom. And in Justice League, he had to go get his trident. That was his mom's trident.
Yes.
And then we just break it and throw it away. It means nothing. Let's go find another one. Like, wouldn't it have been more important if his mom had, like, taken her trident and hid it somewhere, and that's what he had to go get?
Yeah.
It would have meant so much more.
But I think because that they did the whole Justice League thing, like, that they kind of put themselves in a box there.
There's my other problem. You cannot both ignore Justice League and reference Justice League in the same movie. You gotta do one or the other.
How did they ignore it?
How did they ignore it? Okay, so they're talking about, well, what about the uncrowned king who lives on land? Oh, he's never even been to Atlantis. So I'm like, oh, okay, so this takes place before Justice League. And then Mara comes up to get Aquaman, and she's like, you're the true king. You beat Steppenwolf. Oh, so it takes place after Justice League. He went to Atlantis in Justice League. What do you... And then the whole scene happens with the water and the saving, and we save the dad, and he looks at Mara and goes, I don't even know your name. Who are you? You had a conversation with her in Justice League like she was someone that you've known your whole entire life. That in Atlantis, which you just said he's never been to. You cannot ignore and...
I didn't say the writing was great.
I was like, this
bad.
makes absolutely no sense. I was so confused. Like,
They wanted to keep you on your toes, BC.
I guess so.
I just liked it. I thought it was just a lot of fun.
Oh, that bothered me so much all movie long.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I'll give it that. It was a lot of fun.
Jason Momoa is going to make a terrible king.
Oh yeah.
Like, they had no moment in that movie where you're like, oh, Jason Momoa, redeemable quality. Oh no, he's just a bro. Got it.
Right now it is at 945 million.
That's
So
incredible.
it will definitely hit $1 billion.
Yeah.
Not Wonder Woman. Not Batman vs. Superman.
Nope. It's
Not the Justice League.
It's Aquaman.
Nah, the dude that talks to fish. He's gonna...
Okay, mind you, I actually like the way that they incorporated that. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
But still, it's just funny. All right, my number 5. Interested to see if this is on your list. Solo.
No.
Really?
It's not on my list.
Okay.
That's interesting.
I love Solo. It is top 3 of the new regime for me. Mm-hmm. I think I might like Rogue One a little more.
Yeah, I liked Rogue One more.
And I think Force Awakens is still my favorite.
That's so good.
But I've had a lot of fun with Solo.
Yeah.
And every time I watch it, I enjoy it more and more.
I think for me, I feel like I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I watched it and I liked it.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of a, all right, that was there.
Yeah.
You know, sort of movie. Like, I've seen that now. But there was a lot of things in that I guess I just didn't really agree or enjoy about it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that the Millennium Falcon is apparently a sentient being. I thought that was odd.
I love that.
Like,
you know why I love that?
Why?
Because it adds to the originals. It makes it so much more important. When R2 plugs into the Falcon and they're trying to fix things and they're like, how's it going? And 3PO's like, look, we're trying, but your ship has a really weird dialect.
Yeah.
And you go back, and now you go, that's because it's L3 talking to them all sarcastic like and being a bitch. Oh my god, that makes it mean so much more.
Right. Everything happened so quickly in that movie.
Yeah.
Where I wish we had been able to establish these characters and then see them again and then see L3 die and then see that there was like a major emotional feeling to that. I thought her progression was fun. I thought it was great, and especially with the whole droid revolution thing. I thought that was funny. There were just other parts of it though, like Chewie's family. I was like, we didn't need that.
It wasn't actually his family. It was just random.
I thought it was his family. I thought Chewie and Solo first meeting was great.
Yeah.
Thought that was one of the best parts. But I don't know. Like I feel like it was a movie that was a bit incomplete. Like that it did feel like it was two separate films at times. Because Phil Lord, and Chris Miller made one half, and then you had Ron Howard make the other parts. So,
well, I'm about 90% sure that Ron Howard made all that movie.
Probably.
the Phil Lord and Chris Miller, because we're gonna reshoot. How long are you gonna be reshooting? About 6-7 months. So you're just gonna reshoot.
Just gonna redo the whole thing now. Yeah.
But I don't know. I just enjoy, and then the finish, 1-2 punch there with Darth Maul, man.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I need to see something. Like I need a sequel with that.
Which is what annoying is because a lot of people didn't go see it and all that, and then the Last Jedi hate and everything.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
I know it's really kind of up in the air. I thought it was a good movie. I just, if anything, I feel like it should have been in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You're number 4. What do you got?
All right, number 4 should be on your list. I'm hoping you're going to punt it. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Not on the list.
What?
Not on the list.
How?
Fallout was really good.
Yes.
Still not as good as not the last one, but the one before it.
The fourth one?
Yeah. Was it Ghost Protocol?
Yes.
That one. That one's still...
Ghost Protocol is really good.
Yeah.
But I loved everything about this film. Like, I thought Henry Cavill was awesome in this.
He was, but he was predictable. The whole time, I'm like, well, he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Like, it was telegraphed that he was
I
the
knew
bad
that in
guy.
the trailer that he was the bad guy.
I just thought he was another agent going up against
Oh
him in
no,
the trailer.
I
And then once you start getting to know him, you're like, all right, well, he's working with him. Like,
the moment whenever he's having a conversation with I can't remember the actress's name, and he's just like, how long until he breaks? How long until Ethan cracks and stuff like that? I'm like, oh yeah, you're the bad guy. You're trying to twist something going on right now.
Yeah.
But I thought it was awesome. Everything about that movie was great.
And then I was kind of let down because we saw so much of the trailer of the cocking of the fist, and it had that sound effect every time he did it in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then the sound effect's not in the movie.
I don't need the sound effect.
I know, but when he did, I'm like, that's not as impressive without
I'm
the
sorry.
sound.
Did I also need Imagine Dragons friction the whole time going
Yes,
on?
it did.
It was really
Jeebus Award.
an awesome song. But that being said, I just thought everything about it was excellent. I thought the continuity of it from movie to movie was
Yes,
really well
that was
done.
good.
Especially since these are movies that are kind of hard to keep that continuity because there is so much that goes on in every single one. I like how we had throwbacks to
Bringing his wife
back.
Yeah.
Finally, unveiling what happened between the two of them.
That was interesting.
That was interesting. The villain I thought was really good too. Not just Henry Cavill, but the other guy, the nuclear guy, the guy that was trying to destroy everything. I just thought everything about it was just so well done, so well thought out, and it just felt like a really good action-packed spy thriller.
Here's why it did not make my list. The main reason, as the year has gone on, I have not gone back to rewatch it yet. I have not gone out to buy it, and I plan to get it probably before the next one comes out. But right now, it's not something I'm like, I need to watch this again.
See, and that's probably my thing with Solo, too.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I didn't feel like I needed to go rewatch it. But maybe that's why it didn't make my list at all.
Yeah.
Is
And
that,
I
should
have
rewatched
again,
it.
Solo, I've watched countless times already.
Yeah.
I can already quote 90% of the movie.
And I think that's the thing, too. I think that there's a certain bias to that.
Yeah.
Because if you have watched it a bunch of times, that means you really like it,
Yeah.
right?
And that's
like,
what that's
if you haven't watched Mission Impossible a bunch of times, it's like, maybe I don't need to put this on my list.
Yeah, see this, and again, that's what this is. This is my favorite movie. This is our favorite movies of the year. This isn't what's necessarily going to win the
So
Jeebus
Vice
Award.
isn't on your list?
Vice was a good movie. It just was a weird movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah. No, I just liked everything about it. And I thought Tom Cruise is probably one of the best roles of Tom Cruise. Like, I just think he was sensational in it. Like, I think about just that scene where they have the core and they're in that, like, alleyway, and I think they're in London, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a good scene.
And you've got Simon Pegg and him, like, hiding behind this, like, wall, and meanwhile this whole cluster of, like, organization people are, like, surrounding them and doing stuff, and then ultimately steal the core, and I was like, this is such a cool moment. Like, I love the whole thing.
Okay.
Although that trailer, whenever you see the him in the car and he's about to hit the other like truck, yeah, that's actually what it's like to drive around in Beijing. 100%.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Good to know. All right. My number 4. I'm wondering if we're going to... I'm getting interested to see. I'm pretty sure I know what your top 3 are. I'm interested in the order.
Okay.
But we might have to punt this. Black Panther.
Black Panther. Wow. Okay.
Number 4.
Yeah, we're going to have to punt that.
We're going to have to punt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 3?
Number 3. Avengers Infinity War.
You and Rob with your weird placement of Avengers movies.
What?
Rob put an Endgame at like his number like 3 or something for at most anticipated.
I mean, what other movies? What other movies?
His number 1 was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's
Not even on my list.
what?
For most anticipated. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be Ant-Man good.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange good.
Yeah.
It's not like if you put this movie and these other movies in the theaters, are you going to see this one or are you going to see one of these?
So I
I'm
assume
like,
Avengers was number 1 for you.
Possibly.
You have to go back and listen.
Huh? Oh, my most anticipated? Yes. Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Endgame, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
I can't think
happen.
of another movie that comes out next year that I would be more excited
I know.
about than that.
Well,
film.
maybe episode 9.
Yeah. Because
So-
that's like a finale to everything.
Depending on what day you ask me, I'm going to be going
Yeah,
back
that's
and
a
forth.
flip-flop.
The day
That's hard.
we
Yeah.
recorded Endgame was my number 1.
Yeah, that's tough.
So anyway,
and
we're.
probably also because you've seen a trailer for Endgame now. Like you haven't seen anything.
I don't
for
think we had seen the
episode
trailer
9.
before we recorded.
Oh, maybe you hadn't. Maybe you
Yeah.
hadn't. But still, now you've seen a trailer
Yeah.
for Endgame. Episode
And I'm not
9.
watching another one.
We don't even
It's-
have a
it's perfect.
title for episode 9.
Either way, we are going to be punting on Infinity War. So,
Okay.
my number 3, punt from earlier, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, okay. This is interesting. Okay.
And look, the movie is what it is.
Yeah.
The music made that movie.
Yeah, that 100% music.
I could watch that Live Aid segment on repeat for hours on end.
Honestly, I feel like the best parts of that movie was when they're singing, whenever they're playing, and like you could have given me just a movie of all that and all those scenes, and I'd have been fine.
So a concert.
Yes. Or a musical.
Yeah,
Like it should have been.
Dude, I did really like. I loved getting to know a lot about everybody in there and the band, and I wanted the thing. I did want a lot more from it because like it would time jump, and I'm like, wait, no, I want to see more of what they're doing here.
And I wanted to know more about Freddie before he became Freddie.
Yeah,
you know, like that's such a fascinating story to like tell us about. Like the fact that he's Indian. Of Indian descent, like who would have guessed that? Like if you hadn't seen this movie, or you just didn't know anything about him, you know. And I think what bothered me a little bit about the movie was obviously were the creative changes that they made to it.
I don't understand people's problems with that.
It's just more of like the accuracy of it.
See, but here's the thing: I've talked to people, and I go, "Okay, did you like Straight Outta Compton?" Like, oh, I love Straight Outta Compton. Dre was not a good guy. He was a douchebag. Like, oh, well, yeah, but it's different. How? I don't know. Did you like Steve Jobs? Oh, man, I love Steve Jobs. None of those conversations took place. Those were all written by Aaron Sorkin.
I actually haven't seen Steve Jobs.
You haven't seen Steve
No,
Jobs?
I haven't.
Oh,
It's
my
just
God.
one of those that kind of missed me.
It is incredible.
Yeah, I bet. I've heard nothing but good things about it. But I think the other thing about it, too, was, and it goes back to what you're just saying about Straight Outta Compton. This movie was Straight Outta Compton, in a way.
Yeah.
You know, and there's the similarities of it were like, I'm in the theater watching it, and I'm like, huh. Like, I just had that huh moment where I'm like, this is Straight Outta Compton. Like, in a way. Like, obviously, without, like, you know, the
with
Hoagland
rock instead of rap.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of odd to me. Like, and maybe it's just that's the story of them.
I mean that's basically the story. The only difference is, like, the main differences are he got a mustache at a different time.
Yes.
And the drummer actually went solo first.
Yes, the drummer went solo first. Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, y'all are, like, if you're going to a movie to get facts, you're doing it wrong. All right? Read a book.
I think, I just think he's just fascinating, too, because, well, another fact, too, is that the band actually didn't know he had AIDS until after the Live Aid concert. Yeah.
But again, you need that, for entertainment purposes, you need that emotional moment of that speech right there.
Right. You did.
So.
I think overall, the movie's just incredible. Did it deserve to win Best Picture at the Golden Globes? Probably not. But I still think it's an incredible work of art. I think Rami Malek is incredible.
Oh, he was so good.
The teeth bothered me half the time, though, but I get it. I mean, that's just part of the character. It's an incredible film.
So good.
Yeah, and that soundtrack. I mean, it's just Queen.
Yeah,
like you hear it and you're like, man.
After I'd seen it, you know, I saw it twice opening weekend, and I had been listening to nothing but Queen for quite a while. And I've slowly started to gear back into my other music and stuff, and I stopped listening to it. And then Nigel and Phil launched All the Queen's Men, their new podcast. And I listened to episode 1, and I was just like, well, I need to listen to Queen again now.
I just love that, like, you forget how many singles they had.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so shocked that when I was telling my mom about it, she's like, well, I don't really like Queen. I'm like, what do you mean you don't like Queen?
My wife doesn't like Queen either.
I said it to my mom. I go, what do you mean? She's like, I just never got into Queen. I was like, We Will Rock You. She's like, well, yeah, that's a really good song. Another One Bites the Dust. Well, yeah, that's a really good song. Bohemian Rhapsody. That's really. We're the Champions. Yeah, it's really good. I'm like,
I feel like you got into Queen.
Yes. And then today I was showing her my new headphones, right? And I was like, yeah, here, try them on. She tried them on, and Another One Bites the Dust, and she just starts jamming to it. And I'm like, Queen!
I think you're into Queen. Yeah.
I'm just like, it's one of those things that, like, people don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, that was Queen. So.
Yeah. It still boggles the mind that Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't actually a hit until after Freddie Mercury was dead.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Oh, I don't have to look. It's Black Panther.
Okay, my punt for my number 4. Black Panther was incredible.
It was incredible, and I watched it recently. I watched it on, I was actually in Singapore, and it came on.
Yeah.
It was in terrible quality, but it was so fun to watch. They've, like, so in Singapore, they have, like, 2 English channels. Like, they're both Fox-related. One's Fox Life, the other's Fox Movies.
Uh-huh.
The Fox Movies channel is just gritty and terrible. But they had Black Panther on, and this was one that, like, I had told myself before we talked, and before we did this top 10, I wanted to rewatch it again. And boy, man, that was damn good. Like, that car chase...
arguably the best car chase ever.
Yeah, and I think it's underrated, to be honest, because I think whenever a lot of people think about car chases, you don't really think about...
Well, it's new, so, you know, time will tell.
But I thought it was incredible. And just the story of Killmonger. How they created that character and his growth throughout the entire film. And, I mean, heck, even T'Challa's growth throughout the entire film. Both of them. Like, the world that they built inside of such a small area was just inspirational. It was so good.
The main reason it dropped to my number 4 is because it's only because of the fight at the end. The Killmonger Black Panther fight was not the best. It was kind of way too CG'd.
It was a little bit, yeah.
But other than that, man, it is such a good movie, and Killmonger was such a good villain. Arguably one of the best villains that Marvel has ever put out.
Yeah.
You know, recently they've really stepped their villain game up.
They really have.
And
it used to be that Marvel villains were just one-off.
Yeah.
Not anybody you should really care about.
But, dude, I still think one of the best lines in any film in 2019 were, bury me at sea where my ancestors felt it would be better to drown than live in bondage. Bruh! Bruh.
Yeah.
Such a dope scene, man. Really did enjoy
also,
that.
Also, that soundtrack's incredible, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Oops, dog. I love Oops.
Yeah.
Such a dope song. All right, so that was your number 2?
Yep.
My number 2, I'm going to assume is a punt. Because it's the only thing that's left that could be your number 1. And that's Into the Spider-Verse.
That is correct. Punt.
All right, so
I guess we'll talk about it.
we might as well just talk about it.
So my number one is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I've been back and forth on whether this is my first or my one or not because it's such a good movie.
It is so good.
And it is arguably the best Spider-Man movie made.
I think it is the best Spider-Man movie made. I don't think it's arguably.
No, because I could. You telling me you don't even think Homecoming could possibly?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Ugh. Homecoming's so and
Homecoming's good.
And Spider-Man 2 is still arguably one of the best superhero movies ever made.
I think if I was to put a top 3 together of Spider-Man movies, it'd be Into the Spider-Verse, Homecoming, and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like, I love this film. It was perfect from start to finish. Just putting the fact to the side that it's an animated film, and we can get to that in a second, and the accomplishments that they have there. Just the story that they told about Miles Morales and what it took for him to become Spider-Man and having to actually fight his own uncle and what it means to be a black man and being a black superhero and all of this in this world that we live in. It's similar to Black Panther in that aspect. It's just a fascinating story. And then all the character work that they had in there about everybody was unique. Nobody was frivolous. Everybody had their place. And then they even changed a couple things. Like Doc Ock. Did not expect, who they chose to be Doc Ock.
Yeah, that threw me off.
And I loved it. And I loved the attention to detail that it wasn't like metal, that her arms weren't metal. It was like this silicone in a way. That it just seemed like that was even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Kingpin was I actually cared about Kingpin, and I didn't think I would. I wasn't going into it thinking I would care
I've always
about
cared
Kingpin.
about Kingpin.
I didn't.
Did you not see Vincent D'Onofrio?
That has nothing to do with it. Like
Kingpin.
But when you go into an animated film and you see Kingpin, you're like, oh, that's just the villain. Like villains have no heart; they have no soul. He had a heart. He had a soul. He had a family that died because of him, but he thought it was because of Spider-Man. And so that was really cool. And so there were so many emotional, strings that were pulled at different times, and the music had a lot to do with it. And they just accentuated everything. And then you had that animation that was just phenomenal and out of this world.
The animation threw me off a little bit at first.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is like watching a 3D movie without the glasses.
Yes,
but then it kind of fades and your eyes adjust to it and you fade into the movie and all that falls away. And
it does. And each character has their own sort of like color in a way.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool and a nice little, attention to detail. It just everything about it. I go back to it and I think about all the movies that I watched this year, and I just feel like that was the best.
Yeah. And then so much of other characters and so much potential.
Yes.
I want a Spider-Gwen. Like, I want a Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Because she was such an interesting character.
She was fantastic.
And then the post-credit scene, the 2099.
Yeah.
Was so good.
Yes.
And I gotta say, this might be the best Stan Lee cameo ever.
That was great. Yeah. Like, it is so heartfelt. Where it's just like, it always fits eventually. And I'm like, oh! And then you pan over to the side and it says, no returns. It's just, it's so good. And there was something else I was going to say, and it's going to bother me that I can't remember it at this point. But there really is nothing else. Like,
soundtrack was super dope.
I can't say enough about this film. I'm still listening to the soundtrack right now.
Yeah. So damn good. So damn. I saw it twice opening weekend as well.
Yeah.
So. All right, my number one.
Oh, I remember now. It was how every single Spider-Man had their own little introduction. It's like, all right, let's do this one last time, and they just went into it. I was grinning like an idiot every single time they did that.
I love Spider-Ham.
Yeah, Spider-Ham was pretty great.
My number one, punt from your number 3, Avengers Infinity War.
Avengers Infinity War, yeah.
This thing, I can still watch it on repeat. Like, I can finish it and immediately turn it right back on.
Yeah.
And be just as enthralled with it as it was the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Every single scene. Like, there's not... Well, okay. There's one scene that I'm like, okay, I can go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
And that's when Gamora and Thanos are just sitting on the ship talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we can... This one.
And they have a lot of talking.
But other than that,
yeah.
everything is perfect and so much heart and so well done and out of nowhere. Like, Bruce not being able to change into the Hulk. Didn't see that coming.
No.
Entering Wakanda. Thor arriving in Wakanda.
That was probably the best scene of 2018.
Yeah, that's that. Another spoiler alert. It is nominated for best scene of the year.
Yeah, sorry. Oops.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's, when I actually started going through the scenes, putting best scenes together, I was like, man, there are a lot of really good scenes.
Yeah, there are.
So it was actually hard to cut it down to 5.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it was everything I wanted from this Avengers movie and more. And
especially since it's 10 years in the making.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact that they put so much detail into Thanos being who Thanos was, and he wins.
Yeah, like, that was shocking. Like, the end of that film is, like, breathtaking.
And I was expecting he was going to hurt people, like it was going to be bad. We were going to lose people, but we were going to stop Thanos. Nope. Thanos won. You should have gone for the head.
And I love Thanos in general, like, as a character. I just thought that what they did with him, I thought he was the best character in that film. I thought it was Thanos and then Thor, because I thought Thor was just fantastic.
Thor's dope as hell.
Just the whole thing, though, was just great from start to finish. I did think that there were a couple parts, like, honestly, like, I kind of got bored anytime Captain America was on the screen.
Oh, I never did.
I did.
That first scene where he shows up, and it's like, we're about to kill Scarlet Witch and Vision, and they're like, hold on a second, what's that good-looking figure over there on the other side of the train tracks?
That was his best part. Everything else was just kind of like, like, just for me, I don't know. I love Captain America, but there was just a certain part of it where it just didn't seem like he was really involved in the film for the most part.
Because to me, he felt like Nomad, which is what the character was.
And he wasn't Nomad.
Well, no,
but he was Captain America.
He was Nomad.
But everyone called him Captain America.
Well, I mean, they don't actually call him Captain America. They just call him Steve.
Some call him
The
Cap.
only person that calls him Cap is Stark because he's being sarcastic and being a dick. And,
well, he doesn't really talk to...
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, he's like, yeah, me and Cap aren't really on speaking terms. Or no, he said Rogers, actually. And then General Ross, because he's technically still a captain. He has a rank. Regardless of whether he is dishonorably discharged or whatever it is, he has a rank, so... But at this point in time, you see all the colors are blacked out. He's wearing all black. That is the Nomad costume.
Yeah.
He is a man without a country.
Right.
And that's what he is. They're just going through, doing what they think is right. Not to a certain country, not for anything in particular. They're just doing... And that's what I liked. This was a broken Steve Rogers who ended up broken after what happened in Civil War. And I thought this was exactly how that character would progress. Yeah. And from the one scene that we see in the trailer of him for Endgame, it's even progressed even more to where it needs to be. Like, you realize at the end of that movie, he's sitting in Bucky's ashes. When he's like, we lost. Yeah. He is sitting in Bucky's ashes.
Right.
The greatest love story of all comic books. And he's just sitting in his ashes.
Yeah.
And then you go and think, Peter's not feeling too well, Mr. Stark. And it's so emotional. And then you find out that last I am Groot is him saying Dad to Rocket. And now Rocket's crying. And it's just it's such an emotion.
Yeah, like... I think
you have no heart.
I cared more about the Groot one than I cared about the Spider-Man one.
You have no... This
like
poor little kid. Aunt Bay is sitting back on Earth, looking up, watching her son fly into space.
Yeah.
Now she
might be gone now, too, though.
She survived.
How do you know?
The Russos said that she did survive.
Okay. That's a weird question for someone to ask.
They also said Howard the Duck survived.
That's
like,
weird.
they put out a list of people who survived.
Why? It's just weird. Because I don't feel like we're even going to see Howard the Duck at all.
Yeah, well. Especially not now.
No. Like, I think for me, though, like, everyone else, they just kind of left. They kind of all disappeared. Why is it that Peter was the only one that, like, didn't quite at first? Why did he get that moment where you're just like, alright, I'm hurting, and then it's gone.
Because he's a kid, and you need to feel that emotion.
But like,
and you have no heart!
Everybody else is just like, alright, whatever, we're done here.
No heart. Doctor Strange did. He had a moment where he was like, it was the only way. And then
gone.
He starts going.
Yeah. But he didn't go like...
Groot had his, I am Groot.
No. Everyone
Drax
else,
had his, Quill.
And they're gone.
Well,
That's
yeah,
it.
but Peter's line was more dramatic, so it needed to be drug out.
Peter is laying down like his organs are being disappeared from the inside out.
Exactly. That's what was
just
happening.
Like,
so it's crushing even more. It's hurting even more for him.
But everyone else is just like, alright, yeah, peace out, I'm done.
Well, because he kept magic kicking Thanos, and so Thanos made sure his was longer and more painful.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm just saying. You have no heart.
I thought it was a great movie. It's not like it's not on my top 5.
I don't understand how it's not number 1.
I thought it was an excellent movie.
You and Rob, and look, I can't argue with you putting Spider-Man number 1.
Yeah.
I can't. That was a great choice.
Thank you.
So, but Avengers, man, put yourself over, Matt.
All right, so you can find me on all social media at Move the Joystick. If you go on my Instagram, you'll find a whole bunch of pictures from Singapore and Beijing. So
they're all
that's
great
fun.
pictures.
Yes, thank you. I don't think you've even seen any of them.
I haven't seen a single one.
Why not?
Because you don't show up in my feed.
I don't understand why not. Anyway. So yeah, you can find me and all that. Don't forget to check out Cinelinx.com for everything that you need in regards to industry-related news. And don't forget to check out Real Outreach. Our next charity event is going to be for Captain Marvel. We're going to be taking a whole bunch of local underprivileged girls, and we're going to be taking them to go see the film.
I was going to say, oh wait, no, something of yours did show up on my feed, but that's not true. It actually showed up on my Facebook feed.
Oh.
And that was your Christmas present from your brother.
Pretty awesome,
that
right?
Spider-Man hoodie is dope as hell.
Right?
What size is it?
Medium. You can't wear it.
Oh, shit.
Nope, you can't steal it. You break the hell out of that thing.
Fat guy in a little coat. Man, that sucks.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a dope hoodie.
That's a badass hoodie. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
like, I don't want to wear it right now because I'm like, it's just too cool.
It is. I've been wearing that everywhere.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys, we're going to take one quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm going to break down the box office, and we will get up out of here. So,
who wins? Who loses?
Who wins? Who loses? Who made a lot of money? I'm going to tell you this right now. Aquaman did.
Yes.
So, Matt, thanks again for coming on. Always an honor to have you, brother.
Anytime.
Every Monday night at 7:30 to 9 Central on TrueTexasRadio.com, join myself, Nigel Rabbit, and my co-host, 5-Star Phil Woodyard, for All the Queen's Men, as we journey through the music of Queen, in celebration of the success of the film, Bohemian Rhapsody, and in honor of their final tour. Phil and I will share and listen to an album a week and talk about the music and the history of Queen.
Cinelinx presents Channel Control, where Matt, BC, and I, Rob, get together and talk about TV news and give you our take on what's going on in TV land. We'll also take you channel surfing, where we talk about what shows we watched that week and what we've liked about it. Find out what shows have been renewed or canceled, or just find out what TV series has been released on DVD, Blu-ray that week. Channel Control is a weekly YouTube show, so head on over, subscribe, check out our videos, give us a like, turn on your notifications so you know when our new shows are up, and you can also follow us at Channel Control on Twitter. And now, back to BC.
Thank you, Rob. It's always great to hear from Mr. Rob Entropy. I am beat to hell. I am so tired. I know this. Oh, look at that. Instagram is running. I know this has been a long episode, so we're going to get through these box office predictions really quickly. I had Aquaman at number 1 with 30, Mary Poppins number 2 with 17, Escape Room number 4 with 14, Bumblebee number 3 with 13, and Spider-Man number 5 with 10. Aquaman number 1, 31 million, so I was pretty close there. Escape Room actually came in at number 2 with 18 million, so good job for Escape Room. I didn't get a chance to see it. Mary Poppins came in at number 3 with 15 million. And then it was Bumblebee at number 4 with 13 million, and Spider-Man at number 5 with 13 million as well. They were only about less than 100,000 apart from each other. So mad respect there. Hell of a weekend. This week coming up, we have The Upside coming out, as well as A Dog's Way Home. I have a feeling Dog's Way Home is going to make a little bit of money because those movies do. I don't get it because it just looks like a bad version of Homeward Bound. Like, I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but, you know, it is what it is. Aquaman is still going to take that number 1 spot, I bet. I have a feeling that it's definitely going to stay strong. We'll put Bumblebee... Ooh, all right, let's see here. This is gonna get a little different. Bumblebee's gonna drop down to about 6. Mary Poppins gonna drop down to about 7. Escape Room probably down to about 9. Spidey down to about 6 as well. Dog's Way Home, I think it's gonna hit about 12. Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna go 12 for Dog's Way Home. Now we're gonna go 10. We're gonna go 10 for Dog's Way Home. The Upside, which is the one that I'm most excited for, I don't think it's going to do too strong, but I think maybe it'll hit, we'll call it 8. I think that's a good one there. Escape Room, like I said, probably going to hit around 9 million. So that'll go there. And I think we're going to keep Spidey in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we'll keep Spidey rocking in the top 5, and I think he'll have about 7. Nah, we'll call it 6 million. So yeah, we'll have Aquaman at number 1 with 20, Dog's Way Home at number 2 with 10 million, Escape Room number 3 with 9 million, and Upside number 4 with 8 million, and Spidey number 5 with 6 million. Those are my box office predictions. Make sure you use the hashtag IiWiIJA. Let me know your box office predictions. All right, so I want to remind you guys that to do all these different podcasts and all these different shows and everything that I do, it costs a little bit of money. But I like to put it out to you absolutely free. I do not want you to have to pay a single dime to listen to anything produced by the Jackass Nation. So I continue to work as hard as I can to keep everything that I create free of charge. Now, there are a couple costs that it comes to having to make all these different podcasts and get the YouTube channel growing and everything that I'm doing to make everything better for you, the Jackass Nation. Now, to do that, I've partnered with Amazon.com. Amazon.com is the world's largest online retailer, and you can get just about anything you need on Amazon.com. Now, since you are a Jackass Nation listener, Amazon.com is going to throw back all the fees needed to help keep the Jackass, everything on the Jackass Nation free of charge. How do you help out? It's very simple. In the description of this podcast, there's a link down below. Whether you're listening to it on Cinelinx.com or you're listening to it on the Offshoots Radio Network. In the description of the podcast, there is a link to Amazon.com. Just go click that link and then hit the bookmark. Then every time you go to Amazon.com, use that link. Now what that does is it sends you to Amazon.com, and Amazon.com gets a message saying, hey, this person came to us through the Jackass Nation. So because of that, we're going to chip back a little bit of proceeds and send some to the Jackass Nation to help pay for all the costs that keep it up and running. It does not cost you anything extra. It doesn't give me anything extra. All it does is help pay the fees to keep everything running and to upgrade equipment. So I do want to thank every single one of you that use the Amazon link. It is always appreciative. Thank you. Share it around. And let's try to keep everything we can do to keep the Jackass Nation completely free of charge. All right, Peter Griffin today because I'm too tired to go find the sound clip and plug it in, and we're at an hour and 40 minutes. So, guys, don't forget to hit me up on all social media at Real Jackass B.C, RealJackass B.C. Go to the new YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jackass Nation. There's going to be a lot going up on there. Make sure to follow me on Instagram as well, guys, because while I'm in London, I'm going to be doing a lot of Instagram stories, and I'll probably even use Snapchat again over on that. So make sure to check that out, guys. Don't forget go check out MPX this weekend if you're in town. A lot of great matches going down there. So, y'all hear that go-home music. I'm going to get up out of here, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for downloading Jackass in London, baby. We'll see you next week. Yeah, buddy. It is what it is.
You've been listening to It Is What It Is with the Jackass. The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily reflect those of the Offshoots Radio Network or Cinelinx.com.
It's T-shirt time!